just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. Hey, yo, GMS fam, the green room. What's going on, y'all? Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you in good standing in life right now. You know, we start out every show with peace, love, positive energy, good vibes, passing it forward, hoping that you pass it along as well. Today's not going to be a long show, man. Just some things I want to get off my chest about this situation. I'm going to let y'all go. First and foremost, GMS fam, man, if you're here, tap into the live stream, man. Tap into the live chat. Let me know you here. Shout out CDT Beats, Arius, Baby G, Wonder Man. All in the soil in the building, man. Look, we got some things, man, I want to discuss because it's been irritating me. And that's the thing about me, man. When something's irritating me, I don't like letting it just sit and, you know, fester and just boil over. I like talking about it, which is why I'm glad I started doing this podcast, because this is a space where I can really vent, say what's on my mind, and just let it be. And one thing I want to say first and foremost, man, before we get to the other stuff is, you know, rest in peace to Tyre Nichols. It's a fucked up situation, and I did not watch the body cam footage. I won't be watching it. I hope nobody else partakes in it because, you know, quite frankly, like I've said before, we have seen way too many instances of black people being senselessly murdered by the police, and you know, this one is no different. Another brutalized black individual gone too soon for no reason at all. Now, I spoke on this situation a little bit in previous shows, you know, but I was gonna, you know, try to stray away from it and just kind of let it be. It's not one of those things where we have to worry about, okay, what's going to happen to the police officers because they're already arrested, already charged with murder. There was swift justice on this one, open and shut case, as some people like to say. We'll get to that in a second. But one thing that I saw that bothered me a lot is the subject, because everybody likes to politicize everything and everybody likes to remind black people apparently why they shouldn't be sticking up for their own, or why they shouldn't feel a certain type of way about an instance when it happens to black people, because for some reason our lives and the things that we go through are worth nothing in the eyes of most people in this country, even our own. And one person that has made it very apparent that he is against us is Jason Whitlock. And I know we shouldn't be trying to pay attention to things that Jason Whitlock says and what it's the regular thing with that guy. His mission is to be against his own because he feels like his own doesn't accept him. He's one of those people where you will hear some things and be like, yeah, he's making sense, and then realize where he's saying it at, why he's saying it, the reason behind it, and actually understand that he is not somebody who is trying to see better or do better for us as a people. You don't go on Fox News to talk about the black home. You don't go on Fox News to talk about young black men as a whole. To give the people that watch Fox News, as well as the people that run Fox News, the excuse or to validate their stereotype or their suspicions or their fears when it comes to black people. And so many people like to hear the small truths inside of a bigger lie and run with that than see the actual problem with what's happening in this situation. If you don't know, if you didn't see, this is what Jason Whitlock had to say about what happened to Tyre Nichols. Let me go ahead and pause this music. Listen to what he had to say.
Everyone's behaving inappropriately, including these 5 Memphis police officers. It's an open and shut case. The camera from above captures the police.
And look at the headline. Antifa on social media, burn it all down. First of all, their obsession with Antifa, because this is what happened when they realized that black people weren't out here really doing all this destruction. They couldn't put it on Black Lives Matter anymore. They couldn't put it on black people, so they started going after Antifa and putting Antifa mixed up. Because once you started seeing Black Lives Matter and Antifa, which is what they were doing for a long time, there was never the separate. It was always Black Lives Matter and Antifa together. They couldn't use other shit anymore because they started hearing more black people say, fuck the Black Lives Matter organization. So when you don't have the majority of black people backing the organization, now you have to switch and move the goalposts and start talking about Antifa. That's all I'm saying. But let's keep going. Listen to what he had to say.
Doing something totally illegal. The second-degree murder charges are warranted. This is going to be a revisitation of the Walter Scott, the guy that got shot on camera by a cop in the back. He got convicted, went to prison. It's an open and shut case. This is too. I don't get what people are protesting about. These are 5 black officers. The victim is black. The police chief is black. The police have been fired and charged, and they will be convicted, I would assume, by a predominantly black jury in a city that's 65% black. So the system is going to work here. What the other system that's working is the corporate media's insistence on promoting racial division at the behest, in my view, of the military-industrial complex.
Funny how he talks about corporate media while sitting on a corporate media platform, and one that has done an exceptional job at division, creating and amplifying division amongst people. Think about that. This man is talking about corporate media and division on Fox News. That is the first red flag.
They want us all looking at this and not looking at what they're doing in Ukraine as they drag America and the world into World War III. This is a distraction, in my opinion. CNN hyped this video like they were hyping the Super Bowl. And there's really only 60 seconds of relevant content. You show the police misconduct from overhead as they brutalize this man and make it clear this is an open and shut case and the guys are going to be convicted, and we move on. They treated this like a Super Bowl, enraging people, promoting the violence, and this is the most important story in the history of the planet. It's not. What's going on in Ukraine and our military involvement in Ukraine, that's the most important story going on in the world, but
yes,
they don't
right.
want you focused on that.
This dumb motherfucker forgot that Ukraine and pray for Ukraine and sending funds to Ukraine, all that type of shit has been going on since this happened. I hate the people that sit up here and be like, they don't want you to see this or they don't want you to focus on exactly what we're talking about on a national televised fucking program. How the fuck don't people know what's going on in Ukraine? How aren't people paying attention to what's going on in Ukraine? Is it because they're not talking about it on social media? I don't get it. I do not get it. Now, this part right here, that's coming up right here, this is something that y'all need to hear because this is what's been making its rounds on social media. His point of view on why Tyre Nichols was brutally beaten to death by the police. This is his explanation on why this happened.
That is such a good point. And you
please remember, he said this was an open and shut case, that the officers involved were wrong in what they did. Please remember he said that. I want y'all to pay attention because, like I said, people will pay attention to the little intricate little parts, the little tiny truths inside, while not even paying attention to the bigger lie that's being told. The one thing that's gonna catch. Listen to what he had to say, bro.
All your life, 35 years or something. I felt guilty putting that video on the screen, not because I was on anyone's side. I felt obviously bad about it. It was horrible.
Tucker
but
Carlson
because you don't
asshole.
want to put ugly things on TV and inflame passions. You want people to be reasonable and think things through and reach wise decisions.
These were the same people that was putting George Floyd's video up countless times a day to try to prove that Derek Chauvin didn't actually murder him.
Why would
they don't want to put nothing ugly on the fucking screen.
Want to make people
lying ass motherfuckers, man.
Clearly.
They're the same as everybody else.
They don't want us focused on reality. Hey, if they want us to devote an hour of coverage to this and weekend coverage of this, and they want to take us to a good place, I would examine the racial element of this because there is a racial element. And this is a story about young black men and their inability to treat each other in a humane way. Everybody involved in this on the street level was either 24 to 32 years old. Everybody. It was a group of young black men, 5-on-1. Looked like gang violence to me. It looked like what young black men do when they're supervised by a single black woman. And that's what they got going on in the Memphis Police Department. They've elected or put some black woman in charge of the police force, and we're getting the same kind of chaos and disunity and violence that we see in a lot of these cities that are run by single mothers. If we want to discuss the breakdown of family that leads to disrespect for authority, that causes you to resist the police and run from the police and not comply with the police because you resist authority at all time, because there was no male authority in your home, let's have that discussion. But that's not where they want to take us. They want to take us down the path of saying, you know what, this is Tucker Carlson's fault. This is some random this is Donald Trump's fault. It's not. It's the breakdown of family and the buying in to all these left-wing things that have nothing to do with promoting family.
Let me just be very clear. First and foremost, nobody at all once, not even thought about blaming Tucker Carlson, Donald Trump, or some random white guy for what happened to Tyre Nichols. Not one time did anybody do that. Not one time did anybody blame a white dude or anything like that. Now, there have been people that have brought up white supremacy and brought up the system and how it's been, and brought up actual examples of how this shit still plays in society today. Somebody posted a video of the scene in Boys in the Hood when Trey and them got pulled over by that black officer, and he was clearly making it really known that he didn't like a certain type of black person. That shit has been happening for years. Black officers being no different than the racist white officers. There's literal history behind that. But nonetheless, you have a person like Jason Whitlock who first sat here and said it's an open and shut case and how wrong the officers were and how they were rightfully charged and how the system worked, then immediately going on to talk about the dynamic in the home with single mothers and not obeying authority and resisting arrest, which how did you go from that to literally blaming the victim in this sense? The person that you just said got brutalized by police. You're now saying that it's his fault. And not just his fault, but single black mothers. Reinforcing these stereotypes about young black men on a white platform, a racist platform at that, because that's the only place they'll accept that type of black person, the one that will come there and reinforce their own stereotypes and validate the thoughts that they already had in their mind about black people. Why do you think they have Jason Whitlock and Candace Owens and people like that come on to Fox News? It's very apparent the type of narrative they want to push. And because he's been getting backlash for it, he's been trying to come up with reasons why he said or why he thinks the way that he thinks. First, he's like, 5 police officers in Memphis appear to have committed a violent homicide. They've been fired and charged with second-degree murder. What is the protest about? What hasn't happened? It's not about what hasn't happened. It's about what has continued to happen and what will continue to happen after this situation. Talking about what they want us to see. No, it's that we're finally being able to see it. Social media has made it to where we can see this type of thing now happen in front of our eyes with no speculation, with no second guessing. We see it in front of us now. And that's that white comfortability complex where all your life you try to deny the fact that black people have been mistreated, and once you start seeing it in front of your face, you go into denial. You come up with every other reason why this isn't something that's real. I can't look, man. Let me read something else. Jason also said corporate media in conjunction with social media has created reality TV show, Bad Cops, that leads to chaos, division, and violence. CNN is hyping this video like it's kickoff of the Super Bowl. We only talk about the bad things cops do. That's because cops don't really do good shit. Like, what is the infatuation with these weirdo ass niggas who feel like there's so many good cops out here? Time and time again, we keep seeing what type of police exist in our country, and we keep trying to hold on to this good cop thing. Oh, we never talk about the good cops. That's because those good cops don't talk about the bad cops. They just want to move on through their career and try to be, I'm the good person. I do what I do, cool. But you got some fucked up individuals on your squad and you don't do shit about it, but sit back and just move on with your day. Crazy how you guys go out, how the good cops can go out trying to look for criminals and they sitting right next to them in the locker room getting ready for their shift. The very criminals you looking for is right up under your nose. Most likely your chief. Let me read some of y'all comments, man. Let me respond to this. 313 Capo says, so what happened to the white cop that told him to get out of the car, or am I going to blow your motherfucking head? I don't know. I have no idea. John Hamilton said, how many other times have this same group done this, but the victim didn't die, but people looked the other way? Exactly. Marcus Speaks. What's going on, bro? He said, some statistics show that black men who grew up in a single parent household is more prone to going to prison. That's where he's pulling that from. See, that's the thing. Where did he pull that from? That's my whole thing. Where did he pull? It's not that he's wrong about that statement. It's just using that statement in this instance was wrong. That's what I mean by how people blindly fall. And I'm not talking about you personally, Marcus Speaks. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people who blindly follow these individuals because they want to be edgy, or they want to be the person that is against the what they think is the norm, and they'll be like, yeah, he's making sense. You guys are trying to hide from the truth. No, 5 cops beat a man to death. And it had nothing to do with a single parent household. It had nothing to do with how his mother raised him. How does Jason Whitlock know that this young man's mother was teaching him how to be resistant towards police? How does Jason Whitlock know that this man did anything wrong or did anything to prompt him to be beat to death? You see how bringing up that instance can literally demean the entire situation and take away from the fact that this man was murdered for no reason. Answer this question, chat. How many people who watch Fox News after hearing what Jason Whitlock had to say about black households and young black men felt sorry for Tyre Nichols dying? How many people you think after hearing what Jason Whitlock said gave a shit? That's a bigger question right now. How many of them actually cared? Once they heard the shit that reinforced their stereotypical ideas about black people, they were already, glad I don't have to, cause this was looking kind of wild at first. I didn't know how to feel. 5 cops beating a black man to death. 5 black cops at that. I don't know. This is kind of crazy. It might just be police brutality. But then they start talking about the black home and single mothers. Now it's, well, I guess, if he's prone to resisting, he shouldn't have resisted. I don't know. Also, who said that Tyree's dad wasn't in his life? Who made that conclusion? Was that in the headlines that I didn't know about? Young black man with a single mother, no father in his life, beat to death by police. Where did we come up with that conclusion, y'all? What in his history shows that he did not respect authority? I will tell you some of the history that they did bring up was that he complained about this same exact precinct and some of these same officers already, and nothing was done. And clearly these officers who were involved with this murder were not acting of the textbook police officer, if you will. So clearly there was something wrong, and there was a reason why he went and complained and gave statements on why he didn't trust these individuals. Next thing you know, these same individuals end up killing him. Jason Whitlock, ask yourself the question again, why people are out protesting. Talking about it's already done. No, it got done when it was too late, you fat fuck. They were fired and charged when it was too late, when somebody was already beat to fucking death. talking about what the news wants you to see. Why didn't you talk about that, Jason? Meathead ass nigga. Why didn't you talk about that? Why didn't you bring up the fact that he already complained about these officers and nothing happened? It's not just about protesting to want to see justice, about changing the whole entire system. And here's the thing. Let's say he had prior history with the police. How many niggas out here committing crimes is going to go to the police station to complain about officers harassing them? People that don't want to see the precinct or be involved with the police, period, are not about to go to the police station to complain about police harassment. Not the people I know. Not the motherfuckers that actually doing shit out here. They just move differently. You got a nigga that's doing wrong in the streets and go to the police station to look for some type of complaint. You got a nigga that's a potential snitch on your hands. And that's a whole other story for another day. But I'm just saying. And we're talking about a precinct that has history. It's not. It doesn't just end with these 5 officers. It's a history in this department. 313 says that specific unit of cops had a bunch of complaints against them too. See, exactly. Boom. Exactly. Right there. That specific unit had a lot of complaints against them prior to them beating somebody to death. And me and AP talked about this shit, man. Imagine like this being something like, I feel, and to be honest, to get away from Jason Whitlock, because he's going to be Jason Whitlock. Let me just say this. This feels a little weird to me, this whole situation. It feels like these people or one of these cops or a few of these cops knew him outside of being a police officer and had a personal issue with this man. Trust me, that exists as well. Cops are regular people. They don't just fucking spawn in a fucking police station with a uniform on and get ready for fucking work. No, they go home. They do extracurricular activities. They have feelings, and they also spaz the fuck out. So you don't necessarily have to just attract police. Some of these people may know you in real life beyond the badge and have an actual vendetta against you personally that has nothing to do with you committing crimes. We have to remember that. And I felt this because after knowing, and this is the one thing, man, after hearing about the previous complaints and nothing being done about it, that's what made me think about, yeah, these guys might know this dude. They all might know him in a different way. And even if they all don't know him, police will stick together. Talk about back the blue. They definitely back themselves. And they will make sure that they have each other's back. Call up so-and-so and say, hey, I need you for this. We got to go around this way. So-and-so, blah, 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 this and that. I've seen it happen. I've witnessed corruption in front of my face. I don't put shit past the police, bro. It's not even on social media either, man. When I used to work as a bouncer, I used to be a bouncer at nightclubs out here in the city in Minneapolis. I used to see some of the weirdest shit involving police. The people that's supposed to be sworn to protect and serve I'll give you this story. I'm not going to give you the worst story. I'll give you this story. It's going to seem like the worst, but it's not. Trust me. This was the day I quit. I quit on the spot because I didn't want to be involved with this shit. I move smarter than people may think. But we get to club close, right? Club is closing up. Everybody getting ready to leave. And, you know, some people stick around the club because they may know some people. A lot of the people that know like bouncers or may know, you know, the owner or the manager or some shit, somebody that worked there, you know, they feel like they have, you know, extra special privileges and shit. So when the club closed, you know, there was a guy, it was a bigger black dude who was there. And when we were trying to get everybody to leave, he wasn't trying to leave. And he was like, I know so-and-so, you know, he work here and I'm waiting on him. And it's like, nah, you can't wait around here. You don't work here. You're not employed. You don't own shit. You're just a paying customer. You got to leave. And he didn't feel like he should leave because he knew somebody. And he got into it with the head of security, all this other shit, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, head of security pulls out mace, sprays dude in his face. Nigga turns into the Black Hulk, wipes the fucking mace off his face, just yells all loud. Aah! And then the big-ass buff white dude comes up from the back and just, hits the nigga real quick, lays him out. He slept. Then the next part is what had me shook. It wasn't even that. That was like regular club shit. Nigga got knocked out. Some shit happened. Nigga got maced. Whatever. But what happened next was the weird part. This is why I'm specifically not speaking on the place that I worked at. The head of security and another guy grabbed the dude while he's knocked out. They drag him outside, and the club that I worked at has steps going up. They threw him down the steps face first. He slid, like he hit the ground. It's cold outside. It's in the winter. He fell down face first on the sidewalk, slid on his shit. There is a police squad car right out on the curb, right in front of where they threw him at, with two cops standing outside the cop car facing the door. So they saw everything that happened. They saw him get picked up, dragged, and thrown face first down a flight of steps, knocked out cold. These two officers looked down at this nigga, looked up at the club, at the head of security. Head of security put his finger up, walked away, went over, grabbed a little something, wrapped it up in some paper, walked outside, smacked the officer in the hand. They got in their fucking car and they left. Did not see them niggas again. And the dude stayed laid there until he came to, I guess. And it was at that moment where I was like, yeah, I'm not finna be involved with this shit. Nah, I can't co-sign that shit. And not just because it was a black man, but also because of the fact that this is some corrupt ass shit. That is some corrupt ass shit. I said, I am out. It's not worth it. And they don't pay bouncers enough. Matter of fact, they do not pay bouncers enough to be involved with that bullshit. And here's another crazy part about that story. Come to find out later, after I had quit, I was talking to somebody about the situation who I used to work with. And they were like, oh yeah, no, he used to work there. What? Yeah, bro, he used to work for them. He used to work with us all the time. I was like, hold up. So he wasn't just a random club goer. He actually was like an ex-employee. Yeah. I was like, oh, so they don't give a fuck about nobody. Okay. Well, I guess I made the right decision. But we're talking about Minneapolis right now. This happens all over the country. There are very corrupt police officers, and there are good officers who do not call this shit out. which I'm not giving you brownie points for. Just because you out here doing what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do. You were sworn in to do what you were supposed to do. You are not going to get a pat on the back for choosing to take this position and doing what you were supposed to do. So miss me with the good cop shit. That's like a couple niggas joining the Bloods just so they can get back to what gangs started as back in the fucking 80s and shit, in the 70s and shit, and all that other shit, talking about some, yeah, we just need to get back to helping the community. Y'all don't get no brownie points from me, nigga. Y'all ain't doing shit. Y'all supposed to do that without being in the gang. That's all that is to me. When a good cop joins the force, man, all you doing is joining a gang and hoping that you can turn things around and be the better side of justice. While all these motherfuckers running amok, killing people and abusing their authority. Here you are trying to be the good guy. Okay, cool. Thumbs up, my nigga. But if you not trying to change, this is the fucked up thing about it too. Because they'll talk about black people and the things going on in the black community and be expecting us as black people to try to fix that. Meanwhile, while there are horrible and murderous, psychotic police officers out here, people just looking at the good cops like, well, at least they're doing their job. No, do something about it. That's your family. That's your internal affairs, nigga. Go ahead and figure that shit out. Try to fix that. When you ignore it and just let the shit happen, you will have inevitably a blow up. And things bad will happen. As for Jason Whitlock, built like a sugar baby. Jason Whitlock is built like a mud buddy. Jason Whitlock looked like when he lay down, his whole body just turns into a waterbed. Like he as soon as he get on his back, everything just kind of just flows out to the left and right of him. And he just like, every time he take a deep breath, he fart. Do y'all remember this picture? This is what got him fired from one of his TV jobs because he wanted to air a skit of a white dude with an afro and a Colin Kaepernick jersey with his fist up trying to mock black people. He wasn't trying to make fun of Colin Kaepernick. This is somebody who gets his joys off of making light of what black people have went through because he has not been accepted in his eyes by the black community. It's okay to think different. It's okay to have a difference of opinion, but it's another thing to be massa's right-hand man. And the only time they want to call you up to Fox News is when it's time to discredit black people. Goofy ass dumb motherfucker that Jason Whitlock is. I can't stand this nigga. Built like silly putty. I'm telling you right now, Jason Whitlock don't need airbags in his car. That man is safe. He can go down the highway speeding at 150 at all times. He will not get injured. Head-on collision, nope, I'm good. That man takes no damage. If he was the final boss, nigga, there's no way you can beat him. Nothing can penetrate his skin. You can't beat him up. Punching that man will feel like you punching on fucking clay. That ain't hard yet. Big gelatin body ass nigga. Sofa built body ass nigga. Love seat body built ass nigga. Majin Buu body built ass nigga. Jigglypuff built body ass nigga. Oh my goodness. You know what? Let me stop. We got to lead with peace and love, man. It's not my fault that he was led astray. While he sit there and talk about black mothers, his mother should have aborted him. GMS Family Green Room, I want to thank y'all for pulling up on me. It is Saturday, so I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, share this live, or share the video. I want to see at least 5 of y'all in the comment section of this of the video when the live is over, man. I want to see at least 5 of y'all in that comment section below when the live is over, man. I want to chop it up with y'all over there. Make sure you follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. Hit the Cash App today if you are feeling generous. I would most appreciate it. You will be helping out the GMS show expeditiously. You can become a member of the GMS show by clicking the join button right below the screen. Put a GMS in the chat. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna go kick it. He's a big body built bitch. 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 Big body built. Hey, Jason is a big body built bitch. Big body built bitch. Big body. He's a lumpy dude. Hey, a big body built bitch. Big body built. Big body built. Nigga like silly putty. Nigga, Jason Whitlock is ugly. Nigga always eating gummies. Cause he fat. Back. Sack. Potatoes. Black. Quack. That nigga's whack. Eating duck out his crack. Every time Jason Whitlock bends over to tie his shoes, half his ass come out. GMS Family Green Room, I'll see y'all later, man. Much love. We out.